welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another very special 100 episode podcast of the Purified podcast. Today is February 6, 2022. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, how you doing? Are you having a great day, Luis?
I am doing wonderful now. Because you guys are not seeing our faces right now, it's because I do have to introduce two special guests to today's podcast. Please welcome the two hosts of both Lure Up, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch Them All, and probably our bosses for the Professor Network, Ken and Adam.
What's happening? Welcome. I'm so happy to be here.
There you go.
Let's go. Well, I was so happy. I was like welcoming Adam to your show. I was like, welcome, Adam. Right? We're here. We did it.
I made it.
Yes, you did.
What's going on, y'all? How are you?
We're doing just fine. We want to thank you so much for actually coming in on a very special episode once again, because this is our 100th episode. We made it after 100 weeks plus more, because we did bonus episodes, but we did it away. I always wanted to get you guys into the podcast, so it's something momentary to say that I did it. I finally did it. I finally got you guys in. Plus, the star has aligned. We do have some incredible news today for Pokemon Go, definitely. But that's why I wanted you guys here, and I think that's the reason why I'm just super excited at this point. I'm just like,
That's awesome.
Yes. So we're here once again to talk about Pokemon news, updates, and ranting about the game, because we love the game just as much as you do. I don't have to say much about this, but we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out at professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. If you are wonderful people to always work with, they're actually right here with us right now, so that's good. So but yeah, so they have amazing podcasts. I always check them out. So Chris, as you're excited just as much as I am right now, because I am talking probably too fast for my own good right now. But let's introduce our guest. So whoever wants to start first, go ahead.
Adam, go ahead.
All right, I'm Adam Tuttle.
Turn a light on, will you?
I have two lights on.
You're like in the dark.
Oh my god!
I like it.
I
I
want to see your handsome face. We're in the video world now. I want to see.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Getting in a position.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I host Special Conditions. I co-host Gotta Watch Them All with Ken, and I co-host Lured Up with Ken. I play the Pokemon TCG. I sometimes dabble in Digimon. Ken doesn't like it when I say that, but I had to bring it up.
You're not allowed.
It's like bringing up Delibird. I got to do it every episode.
No, Digimon has become like Voldemort. Like you just can't say it. Like
Digimon's right.
I got another fan right here too, because I mean, Chris also loves the Digimon world for some reason. There you go.
Oh no, Adam.
Let's go, Shine Greymon.
Hey,
are you done, Adam? Are you done?
No, I've got like Sunema.
Oh, no,
I'm Okay. Before Ken, all right. But that's pretty much it. I'm Team Valor. No, I'm just kidding. That's Ken. No, I'm Team Instinct, glue sniffing for life.
All right.
Level 44. I'm still working on defeating Team Go Grunt leaders.
That's my favorite part. The thing that's holding him up is team leaders. It's like
I battled a team leader 2 days in a row. Okay, you should be proud of me.
Forever. It took me forever too, man.
I've been in the grind.
I'm just mad because I don't go out and grind.
Yeah, I am mad. About that.
We take this game just a little bit more seriously than we do ourselves.
All right.
Sometimes I take myself a little bit more seriously.
Is it my turn?
It's Ken. And everyone, listen, it's Ken.
Yeah. You're Ken. Like I said, he's our boss too. So I mean, I'm just waiting for him to start talking. So.
My name is Ken Pescatore. I am all the hosting of the shows that Adam just said. Gotta watch them all. Special Conditions and Lured Up. Lured Up being the Pokemon Go show. I don't know. I've been doing Pokemon stuff for since 1999 when it first came over here.
I'm 5 years old then.
Yeah, it's so yeah. Thanks. Yep. Old man mode. Hashtag old man. Get off my lawn. Hashtag get off my lawn. It's like, what up, children's? You know, like Steve Buscemi, like holding the skateboard. Hello, fellow children. No, but back in the day, I was an employee of Wizards of the Coast. So I was hosting Pokemon TCG tournaments in the late 90s at brick and mortar Wizards of the Coast locations. I paired up really early in the late 90s with Toys R Us and the Pokemon Company to host like the original Game Boy gaming events, like weekend events for kids. So I used to have like boxes come to me from TPC with like goodies and stickers and activity sheets and all this stuff. I have none of it. I'm so mad that I have none of it. But I used to host like the event where you could get Mew. Like you go to a Toys R Us, you bring your link cable, and boom, they would transfer you the Mew. So I got to like work those events back in the day, which is really cool. And I've just been doing Pokemon stuff since. And yeah, now it's all about the audio, video, content world, podcasting, and all that good stuff. We have all these different Pokemon shows. We love the franchise, and it's been really cool to be able to like thrive in this space because there's so many consumers of podcast content. It's awesome. The podcast community is one of the coolest because I love when I like listen to like a different podcast and I hear like them read an email and I'm like, I know that person. Like, It's like, I get really
Right.
excited that you have like crossover between audiences, like everyone. It's a really awesome community that we've built, through this podcast thing. So I'm super excited to be a part of that because it's, we should all be real proud. The podcast, we hold it down. We're some good eggs. Some good eggs.
Yeah, that's completely true because when I started listening to Lure Up, it was actually a couple of years after you guys started for sure. I know you guys started through the Gotta Watch Them All podcast first, then went through Lure Up and then divided the both podcasts.
It didn't have its own feed in the beginning. We used to like piggyback on the Gotta Watch Them All feed because the Gotta Watch Them All, like we started the network and started Gotta Watch Them All prior to Pokemon Go being released.
Right.
So like we've been at it for a while, and it's like when Lured Up came around, that was the bonus episode on the Gotta Watch Them All feed.
Yep.
When did we branch out, Adam? When did we put it on its own feed? Was it like episode 14 or something like that?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
It was around episode 14. We were like, all right, well, we're getting much better feedback from the
And
Lured Up shows.
everybody wants to listen to Pokemon Go stuff.
So it was like, I was like, all right, we got to put this thing in its own feed. And then ever since then, because of the success of Lured Up, we've been able to do all this cool stuff and like work with all these awesome people and talk to like other podcasters and bring them in. And it's been super cool. So this is really exciting for us to be here because of that. So it's like, Adam,
it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. And Adam, you should be super proud too, man. I couldn't have done this network thing without you. And it's like, here we are 100 episodes deep on Purified. And it's like, dude, that's sick. We just hit the 100 episode mark on Special Conditions. So like, it's a big deal like that. I remember when you first started podcast, it's like when you hit episode 10, it's like, yes, double digits. It's like episode 10 was like so important.
And you're like, and episode 15, like, let's go.
Yeah, no, but when you hit 100 episodes, you're like, yes, all right, that's a serious milestone.
You're like, I'm going to put that on my resume.
We're not scrubs anymore. We're not scrubs anymore.
So
we're actually in the pros scene now. So.
Congrats to both of you. You guys have been doing awesome, and you guys should be very very proud of what you built here. It's awesome. 100 episodes is no easy feat. So congratulations, congratulations.
So for a little bit of background story when it comes to the Purified podcast. So at first, I always wanted to create that small content when it comes to Pokemon Go. I always wanted to put myself out there. It was always just clicking on the button, record, and thinking things like that. I never really thought about podcasting until I started listening to Lure Up. It was during the 2019 era. Fortunately, I had lost my job at the time, so I was doing other things that I was actually able to listen through a lot of different things. And then when I found you guys, I think I found you through Instagram at first. And then I asked you, it's like, what is? I think that was something that you were actually posting at the time. And then I started listening, and it was just so hilarious to hear you guys talk. Then I went ahead to the next episode and the next episode. So literally every single time I was working, and I was working a physical job at the time, but I was still able to listen. It was just like, I need to listen to the next one and the next one. I was listening to like 3 episodes every time I was at work because I was like going through that. But that's actually what got me into it because I had to actually change a lot of different routines throughout that time. I never really had a chance to go back to the editing part or video, YouTube, or whatever the meta is at the time. Plus, we have our Keen Elite 4 members, Mystic 7 and all those doing like basically the same thing, but they're actually like doing it because, they can. So I was always looking for that small opportunity to get into the community and people to recognizing how things go. And I wanted to share my stories too. So when I heard that I can do a podcast, then that clicked, because I can do the audio form, but I'm already trying the streaming part, so why not just combine both and then just get it out of the way? It's like both the 4 things at the same time. Combine them and here we go. So
For sure.
at first also, we actually wanted to have 3 hosts on the podcast. Unfortunately, one of my friends works too many hours and 2 overnight shifts and too many overnight shifts and all that stuff. So unfortunately, he can't really make it to the times that we were recording and things like that. So Chris was amazing to step up and be able to actually get through it, because I met Chris through the PvP meta in Pokemon Go back in 2018 when it first started.
That's the best part. When you told me that story and you're like, yeah, I met him through the game, I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, that's amazing.
I mean, Chris and I are like probably like 6-7 years difference right now, but still, I mean, because of the game that we are just loving it so much. And I knew he was just such a chill person and always wanted to do these kind of things. So I introduced him to the streaming part, but I also introduced him, hey, just go ahead and, come over, let's chat about Pokemon Go, because we both love the game. So we started, and here we are, 100 episodes in, so.
That's so cool, a lot of friendships in the, now podcasts have been made just thanks to the game. So I think that's really awesome. There's definitely like at least 20, 30 people locally I know I wouldn't be talking to if it wasn't for Pokemon Go.
That's true. Yeah, it's amazing how this game can connect us, even when somebody barely even knows about Pokemon. And that's just amazing, because, I mean, we know Pokemon is for everybody, no matter where you go, no matter what you do. But Pokemon Go was the key moment back in 2016 summer, where world peace was almost there.
Yeah.
Right?
But
let's take me back.
Literally almost there. But yeah, so it's just meeting all these kind of people, going around, people that actually wanted to know about Pokemon Go and everything. Things has definitely changed since then. It's been almost 6 years since this game's come out, and it's just amazing to see that this game can go on for even longer and everything. So I'm grateful for Pokemon Go, definitely, but I'm grateful for everybody else here. You guys are also have inspired me to do a lot of different things. So yeah, now we're here. Now we're talking. So let's do this. So you guys already introduced yourselves. I can't even talk time at the time anymore. So real quick for both of you, what is your favorite Pokemon game of all time?
So this is like a real interesting one for me, because there's a couple oddball games that I was super passionate about. So the Game Boy Pokemon trading card game was one of my favorite games of all time. So like as far as even like hours invested, I was heavy into that. I was also into Pokemon Puzzle League, and I think I gotta go with Pokemon Puzzle League as being my favorite Pokemon game of all time.
Right.
I'll be honest, I haven't even heard of that one.
Dude,
yet.
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's like a pseudo like Tetris, match game, kind of like drop, fall, come down, like think like Columns. I don't know if you ever played Columns on the Sega Genesis, like old school, like it's an old school game. No, that one was phenomenal. But then there's like the mini games from the N64 era games, like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon Stadium 2, like those mini games, like Adam, the Delibird mini game. And we always talk about the Metapod and Kakuna one where you have to use Harden. Like those games, I've probably put more hours into those mini games than I have with any of the main series games. And I've gone through to completion since X and Y, the recent games, and I still put more hours into those old mini games. So it's just like it's hard for me. But no, Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Stadium 2, like those are the games that for whatever reason I'm so passionate about. But Adam, if you don't say the card game and just like break the world, like it's not even the card game is the main series game that you like the most.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean, I had that one, okay, but I will say I invested so much time. Like I honestly, as you were talking about these older Pokemon games, I'm like, I put so much time and effort into Pokemon Pinball.
Yes.
No, like
that's what I'm talking about.
Tons of time into that.
I broke my green screen. That's what I'm talking
it's
about.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what life gets you. Don't worry.
Look, like I'm like on a boat. You ever see those videos of like the boat? And you're like,
Everybody, quick, go through your green screens right here. You know, it's like
That's so funny.
And let me get. Hold on, let me get mine. It's on the ground.
Adam has a green screen of just a picture of his background of his shelf.
Yeah, I seen the latest episodes for sure, and I know he actually has.
Dude, Pokemon Pinball was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
It was something that I tried to master for so long, and I was just trying to get like the one of the Pokemon, and I kept trying, and then I lost the cover to the AAA battery to Rumble, and and then
I mean,
yeah. So I really like Shuffle though, because the Delibird was in it, but I will hands down say Pinball for me.
But we've always talked about these oddball games being our favorites, and it's like it's so weird.
I mean,
I'm surprised you didn't say Magikarp Jump.
No, dude, no joke, probably 150, 200 hours into Magikarp Jump.
I like that one.
Like no joke. I put so much time into that, but it was just like, it was bad. That wasn't even fun. I just did it. I was fully addicted. I was just like, I can't stop jumping.
And then when Journeys came out and they had like the home, like,
that one
back to that, I was like,
yeah,
yes!
That was. And imagine it actually would actually coexist with Magic and Jump if it actually wasn't because of everything that happened in the world back then. But anyways, I love hearing that you guys actually got to where you are of Pokemon because of all the side games and not the main series ones. Like everybody will always say Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red. You know, they're the main series.
You see, but I still played through all those. Like I took a break. I didn't play 5 and 6. Like I was out. Like for whatever reason, that's just when I was still in the TCG. I was still into anime and merchandise and all that stuff. But as far as main series games, did not play Gen 5 and 6. And then I came back with 4 and 5. And I came back with 6 because X and Y was 6, right? Yeah. So it was X and Y, then Sun and Moon, then Sword and Shield. So I've played all those since. So yeah, it's, even though I played through all those games, like I didn't end game any of those games. Like once I got through them, I pretty much moved on. So it was just like those other games, even though it was like the most redundant, repetitive thing that you were doing, I still sunk more of my life into those games than like X and Y.
Well, for me, I always had the ability to play almost every single main series game. My first one was for, of course, Pokemon Yellow. And I was just a fan. I wasn't like a super fan. I wasn't like EV training, going through tournaments and all that. It was just get the game, play through the story, get a catch of Pokemons here and there. I didn't even know anything about legendaries or anything at one point, or even shinies at that point either. So it was more like just play the game, get it done, sometimes reset it, get back to it. So people will always say, oh, I have my old save file and this is my old team from back then. I'm like, dude, I just reset like the game half the time anyway, so that like my team will always change no matter what. And I didn't know anything about distribution or anything, mostly because I just never really got into those points. I never really had that many friends that play the same things that I do. But I was always into all the different things too. So, but Pokemon was always like a small line through it. I always play every generation somehow. I always get every generation whenever it came out. So it was actually pretty fun for me no matter what. So, Chris, what about you?
Well, I started with Gen 3. I was definitely into the anime before that. The original, which was kind of funny, just starting with Gen 3, but that's just how it worked out. I did eventually get Pokemon Silver, and then Pokemon Fire Red happened to come out shortly after. And then, I played through until Gen 4, and then I took a break. I did dabble in Pokemon cards. I only have a few of the ones I used to have, and I'm very disappointed. Garage sailed off a bunch of them a while ago before it really took off. Yeah, I don't know exactly everything I have.
It was like why. A box, $5.
I happened to get $20 for like, and you guys are gonna hate this. I sold it in a trash bag. It was a trash bag full of them.
Adam has bought trash bags of cards from people before. That's what they put it in.
Yeah. I found I bought, I think for $25, somebody had like a kid's backpack, like a
it was like a
Spider-Man.
suitcase. It was like a suitcase.
It was a suitcase. And they just threw everything in there, and there was like some baseball cards, some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but like most of it was Pokemon.
Mhm.
And they had like one page where there was like an actual binder page of like decent looking cards.
Okay.
But I remember in the couch photo that they took, they had dumped all of these onto the couch. I zoomed in and saw the 4 energies and the 120 for. I was like, that's Charizard. That's Charizard. And then I got it, and it had like their address on it, and I was like,
Oh,
like in pencil.
if lost,
So it was
yeah.
like
if lost.
indented.
I think
Oh,
some of them were like
no.
glued together too, or something. I think I remember seeing that in the Instagram
Yes,
post.
yeah, a lot of
so-
them were. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
really bad.
No
Yeah.
rubber bands, but yeah, I felt pretty bad after the fact of keeping them that way. I do still have, for some reason, I don't remember opening base set, but I have a Hitmonchan, and that's basically it from base set.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, for me, when it came to Pokemon TCG, I know I remember buying a couple of cards back in the day, but I would use them as Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I wasn't buying the Yu-Gi-Oh cards until it came into my country because I was from a different country at the time. And then I think, if I remember correctly, this is a bare memory, but I remember my parents saying that we were playing too much with them, and then all of a sudden, I see them in the trash.
Oh,
Yeah, so
it's always the parents.
It's always the
It's always
parents,
the
yeah.
parents.
So I was like, I mean, I don't even remember if I was devastated. I remember my brother actually trying to pick up a few of them too. He was a little bit of a fan back then. He's not anymore, but still. But I remember him picking up a few of the cards. But then through the movie and everything, we never really saw them again. I was able to keep most of my Game Boy games, so that's good. I lost some valuable ones through the DS era. I don't know why, because it is what it is.
They're
when it
probably
comes to-
just because they're too small.
yeah, well, I always kept them in like a case or something, so I always had all my games all together. And I think I remember having the Platinum game, or Pokemon Platinum, which is like, for some reason, over $100 right now. Case and everything. I have the case with all the manuals and everything, but I don't have the game itself. And I think I remember at the time I was in college, and I remember going to the game store to get one of these distributions, and then all of a sudden I open the bag once again, and I don't see it anymore. I think it's when I opened the bag over there to try to get the game going. I think I lost it in the parking lot.
oh no!
So I was like, it's done, it's gone. I mean, I only realized it like months, years later anyway, so I never really came back to it until that point. However, the case I think is still like $60, and it's in good condition anyway, so...
Gotta save that investment.
I know, right?
In 20 more years, it'll be worth 65.
There you go. All right. There's my retirement money right there, you know. So, but yeah, so thank you for sharing all of that for sure. We have a couple more questions, of course. I know that you talk about how running the community and everything. What made you really get into the podcast, like the podcast area? Like, what made you go into that specific source of news outlet and everything for you?
Yeah, so this one's actually kind of interesting. So prior to I have a 13-year-old son. So like prior to my son being born, I was a musician. I toured all around and like did that for years and years and years and years. And I kind of had to like hang that up to settle down and start a family, do that whole thing. So once my son was born, everything changed. You know, your whole life changes. And I was like, I really still needed a creative outlet, but I couldn't spend time away from my son, my family. So podcasting was something that I could do from home. I could do it while everyone else is asleep and not disturb anybody. I don't need like a ton of equipment, and I only need a small little space. I was like, this is perfect. I can record in the closet. I could go into the basement, so that's why originally I got into podcasting. Now I've been a fan of the podcast format for years and years and years, for a long time. Like I was listening to like the Nerdist podcast back in like, I don't even know, probably like maybe like the late 2000s or something like that. And so I've always been like a huge fan of the format because I commute for work, and I would always have like an hour drive to and from work every day. I did that for like 10 years. So it was like, I listened to just so many podcasts because I was in the car for 10, 12 hours a week. And I just loved it so much. And I was like, all right, well, here's my opportunity where I can actually do it. I don't know. Adam, didn't we both start with Snowball mics, the blue Snowball? Didn't you have that? Wasn't that your first mic?
I didn't have the Snowball.
I had like the blue Snowball. It was like a $60
You had the
mic.
Snowball. I had the Yeti because I had the stand-up Yeti. I said that's what I want for like Christmas or my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like we upgraded to the Yeti, and like we had that set up for like 4 or 5 years. Like, so it was like that podcast is just so incredibly approachable, you know. So, and it's a practical thing. It's like, yeah. I didn't know how to edit video. I don't have logging equipment. I'm not a charming young man.
You don't need
to be on. I was like, audio podcast. I'm in.
Yeah,
easy.
and I remember before I actually saw your faces for the very first time, I remember just listening to you guys and listening to your voices and everything. So I was like, how does guys look through everything? Like, I know you guys like always make jokes whenever you like who's older, who's this, and who has kids and all that. But just listening at first, it was amazing. And then once I started seeing more pictures of you guys on the internet, that was when I was able to finally like.
Did the face match the voice for us?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. There was one time in GoFest Chicago 2018, right?
Yep.
Adam and I are walking. It was like the ferry area, right? Remember we were trying to catch Absols. So yeah, the garden, and we're just talking back and forth, and like someone's walking past us, and as they walk past us, they like stop. And they didn't know what we looked like, but they recognized our voices.
They were like,
"Are you guys?" Yeah, he goes,
"Yeah, you guys lured up."
I was like, "Yeah." He's just like, "I just walked by. I heard your voices." And it's like he was able to, and it was just like that's the funniest thing ever for an audio format. Like you don't think of that. How no one knows what you look like. You know, it's like so. It's it was that really
was like
cool.
The first like, oh my gosh, people know who we are.
yeah no, that was really cool, but I'll never forget that. And then now that we're doing video and stuff, it's like I don't know, we're like 5 years too late. We're late to the game, but it's fun.
We're always there. Don't worry.
I mean, like look how nice and shiny my head is. Like I can't not show this to the world.
You gotta get like one of those towels and just like scrub it and stream or something.
like a bowling ball. I'm polishing the bowling ball.
That's gonna be like one of the emotes for Twitch now. Like just you polishing your head there. So.
Oh my.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's great. Again, every time I hear podcasting, it's all the same. And you introduced me through that too, Ken, because I never really was a podcast person, but I always heard of the format, just never was into there. But then little by little, I've been able to expand that broad experience and then just go through many different things out there for sure. So it's great. It's great. And Adam, any sort of podcasting for you here? I know that you are in TCG and everything.
So my first experience was just from Ken.
Okay.
Well, wait, we should talk about how we met.
Josh, who was the co-host of Special Conditions, he is how I first got into podcasting. I had listened to their podcast, him and Jason, the Toys for Games, and that was like the podcast because I was a toy collector for like Skylanders, Amiibo, Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, all that stuff. And that's how I connected with Ken, because he was the community manager and I was always posting on their stuff.
Yep.
And like I would always email into them to like ask questions and stuff. And so
we read they read Adam's emails on every show. He wrote in every episode. I was like, this guy's a fan. And
then, I was a hardcore fan.
But in the Facebook groups and stuff, you were always dropping Pokemon references.
Yeah.
So I knew you to be the Pokemon guy.
Yeah, because Ken reached out to me and was like, hey, because I had been listening to their episodes and they had you had like 10 episodes, something like that. And then you had reached out to me and you were like, hey, I see you like Pokemon. What do you think about hanging out with me?
So it was, I don't know. I think when Adam and I did our first podcast, I had known him through that other show for like 2 years.
Yeah,
probably like 2 years. So I knew Adam from 2 years before the show started. And then I didn't meet you in person until Philly Free Streets.
Yes.
A Philly event. And that was 2017.
Yeah.
So it was funny because we were like online dating. It was like an exclusively
and
digital
I knew
digital
you as
relationship.
your, like, Xbox
Gamer
avatar.
tag, right?
Yeah, his avatar for Xbox. I was like, that's Ken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's what I use in the Toys for Games group.
Yes,
That's right.
yep.
That's so funny. That's
Crazy.
so funny. Yeah, it's all come full circle. That's like the coolest stuff.
You know, I think there was a time, I don't know why, but I always thought this. I think a little bit before the pandemic started, and then, or somewhere in between in there, I remember like the entire world was starting to do in podcasting. Like you see like all these big people just like, I'm gonna start a podcast, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm just like, when did this explode? It like seriously, like it was like one of the biggest things I've seen. And then I was just like, Ken, did you do something about this or something? It's like
it was honestly, there was a boom because retailers like Best Buy and Walmart and Target and started carrying microphones. Like you would never see that stuff in the stores prior. And then all of a sudden, Blue, like the Blue Yeti, Blue Snowball, you could get at Best Buy. And then as soon as like that stuff became more readily available, like USB based microphones, like podcasting exploded.
Right.
Because that was it. That was all, the people like, I already have a computer. I already have headphones. I guess all I need to do if I want to start a podcast tonight is buy a mic, and then they can get it at Best Buy.
Yeah, it makes total sense when it comes down to it. But again, just how the podcasting has exploded, and now it's close. I want to say I'm not saying it's like the mainstream of everything, but you see like everybody, like you go anywhere, or now that this world has opened up for me more than anything, whenever I go to the podcast services fees or either through Apple Podcasts or any other of the fees there, I just like my recommendation is like, listen to this, listen to that, and listen to this. So I'm like, all right, maybe if I have the time, because I have like 5 other shows that I gotta listen to anyway whenever they release an episode. Like waiting for Lure Up have the time anyways.
I love listening to oddball podcasts. That's a really good way to consume podcast content, because I fall into the trap where for years and years I listen to the same couple shows. And it's like, yeah, that's fun, but like podcasting has so much more to offer. So it's like I'll listen to some of these bizarre recommendations that I get, and it's like, all right, I could give 15 minutes to try this out. And it's like, it's usually fun and interesting just to hear like other people's styles. I'm into audiobooks too. Like I love the audio format, but like I'm listening to more of like the Critical Role kind of stuff where they're playing role-playing games. So they're like playing it out with voice acting. So it's almost like a audio play. You know what I mean? It's super cool. So it's like, podcasting has become part of business and marketing strategies for companies. So it's like if CBS or an insurance company or whatever, it's like part of their marketing strategy is to have a podcast. That podcast is going to start just exponentially growing, and it'll be a household thing where you're going to start to get podcast apps be more front and center on things like smart TVs and smart, like I don't want to set anyone's house speakers off by saying their names, but one of those names, so it's podcasting has blown up. It's awesome.
It's good. Yes, it's good. I'll get Chris on it eventually whenever he starts listening to more and more stuff. Maybe that Digimon podcast will work for them in anyways.
Stop.
Yeah, just hit me up. Let's do it. Let's go.
There you go. It's like
I'm not that knowledgeable.
Adam hosts like 46 podcasts. He's like, I got time for another one. Like, come on, Digimon.
Ken, you're like the hardest working man out there too. It's like you always are working on something. I barely see you sleep half the time.
That's what I was gonna say. It's just like all it really is I'm the most tired person. That's all it really means.
He really needs Pokemon Sleep to come out.
Dude, I've been.
We're all waiting for that. I think at this point.
I've been saying that since that announcement. I'm like, dude, God. I'll finally I'll get some sleep because I'll get XP for sleeping. I go, that's it.
Oh God, I would love to see how that actually works out at the end of the day. But yeah, it's crazy.
They found new Go Plus functionality in the code this past week.
Yes, so definitely something we would definitely want to talk about part in the news section whenever we get the chance. But we did go through that and everything, so we know for sure.
This show will be eight hours long.
I'll take it. I mean, I've been meaning to amplify my subscription, but anyway. So, but yeah, no, great. Anyway, so Let's talk a little more about Pokemon Go. I mean, yeah, we've been talking about all these things here. I know Ken, you're Valor, Adam, you're Instinct, I'm Mystic, and then I got Chris over here again, Valor. But we don't talk about him. But when it comes
Don't talk about Bruno.
Oh God, don't make us the MCA, please, because that's how it works.
That's all I can think about now.
I know, right? But yeah, so what are your goals when it comes to the game itself? It's like, I know Ken finished up level 50, but what are your real goals? Like, what do you want to do with the game as like in the future? Because we don't know how long this game is going to be, but we know it has a longevity because how integrated it is with everything Pokemon-wise in the end of the day. So I want to hear your thoughts and everything on that.
Go ahead, Adam.
So my goal is I want 100% shiny Delibirds. I'd like a bow one that's 100%. I'd like a regular one that's 100% shiny, and then I would like a shadow 100%, and eventually when a shadow shiny comes out 100%. But right now I just have a normal 100%. So there's 6 Delibirds that I really want, and I only have one, and they're all hundos.
All right,
interesting.
I mean,
as far as
you could have said anything. All right, yeah, I was gonna say like you could have said anything, and he goes for the Delibird. All right,
I like that goal.
As far as goals, I would like 100% Dex.
All right,
yeah, that seems more valuable. But I mean, yeah, no, I'm in the same as Adam. I always want to get all the hundos for everything, even through the line itself. Like get one hundo of each of evolution and everything. So shinies are shinies. I mean, if I get 100% shinies, that's great. But hundos are like my main thing, and Chris can vouch for this because I get like hundos like every other day or something.
So it's like 3 a week, like constantly on average.
I hate people like that.
People like me too, because it's like I go like 7 weeks without getting something.
No, and then Adam will get like 8 in a row. Be like, I don't know, it was in my driveway. It's like,
well, I have the Go Plus running like half the time anyway. Like I think Adam has the same thing, anyways.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Ken? What do you?
It's right here.
Yeah, there you go.
So
and look, mine has the top. Ken's does not.
No, mine. I don't even. Mine's on the charger. No, I have a much more lofty goal. So like I'm very concerned with the lifespan of the game, right? Like I want this game to be a platform, and we've been fortunate enough to like, work closely with Niantic and kind of see what's going on and what to expect and all that stuff. And we have a really good perspective on what this game can be capable of. So for me, my goals in the game right now are what can I do in the game to protect the game's future, right? It's all based in Wayfarer. Like the future of this game is based in Wayfarer, because if we want this game to succeed, and there's still thousands and tens of thousands of new people downloading and trying Pokemon Go for the first time every day. That's like the most critical segment of trainer into this game's longevity. So it's like, how can we reinforce that experience, right? So developing the game through Wayfarer, making the game board itself as fleshed out as possible. So when someone turns on the game for the first time, it's like, whoa, like, you have this explosion of activity and all this stuff to do, because that segment is so important. Now, the technology that's driving Wayfarer and like portal scanning and, the whole process of voting and nominations and, making sure that whole thing runs clean, that the tech that's driving that will really be the tech that pushes the limits on new stuff that can come out in Pokemon Go. So I want, like we've always talked about, like, what about AR raid battles, or what about AR, experiences that are a little bit more persistent, between trainer to trainer. Like we saw that teaser video from John Hankey where he's like wearing the HoloLens and he's walking around, and Pikachu has the occlusion jumping out from the trees and all that stuff, right? So the technology that's driving that kind of experience, which is what I want from Pokemon Go, right? That's nowhere near where we're at. So the game would need to be a couple years out for us to catch up with that technology. Oh, yeah. But the tech that's driving that is the tech that we use to scan a Pokestop, to power up a Pokestop and power up a gym, right? So I want to use that technology because that's the technology that'll drive it. And so I've had this like major paradigm shift where it's like, yeah, grinding and XP and rating and shinies and all that like stuff is fun. But like have found like this interest now in like, just being able to be an architect of, the game. And that's really the most important thing for me right now is like, how can I teach people about Wayfarer? How can I show people that they can be in control? And provide like a
They
really
could
good
listen
thing
to
for
Way
their community.
Spotters, a brand new podcast.
They could
on
listen.
the network.
There you go. They could listen to Way
Shout out
Spotters,
to
but
Jamal and Lachlan.
but I'm telling you,
Shout out
no,
to them in the
that yeah, Lachlan's in the chat. But that's the future. That's the future. So it's like I wanna try to be able to convey through content like the importance of people being proactive and engaged. And I think Adam, you could probably speak to this because you were a guest on an episode of Way Spotters, and Adam hadn't done much stuff. Like I'm sure that you learn things like that probably were mind opening, like, oh, it really blew your mind, right? Like
Yes.
once you learn about this stuff, you're like, oh, I can do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like I'm not as invested as say Jamal, where he sees something, he's like immediately looks to see if it's going into the game, and if not, like if it's already in like Ingress, type deal. But it's like for me, if I have the time and I'm in the right place at the right time, I'm willing to put in my part. I'm willing to do that. It's just I have to have the time and like excited about what I'm
so
essentially submitting.
That's the thing, because, and it's interesting because when I heard you on the episode, you were like, well, how much time are you spending doing Wayfarer versus actually playing the game? And it's like, that's the weird thing. The wayfaring, the wayfinding is how they're playing the game. So it's like think about like when you do an evolution party, right? It's like, I'm going to evolve all my Pokemon for XP, and you could spend a half an hour evolving Pokemon, right? That's boring, but that's how you choose to play your game. Play the game.
That was a real guy in 2017, that's for sure.
Dude, I did that. I did so many pitches.
That was Ken's favorite time.
I did. Because
that was
I
his
do it
before bedtime.
I would sit on the toilet for an hour, bro, and do an
hour?
evolution party. Yeah, 2 lucky
Man,
eggs.
that was when some relaxed
bro. Have
potty time.
It's my escape. That was my
Buddy,
only.
you okay?
That was,
came out
that was
smooth.
Yeah.
I'll be out in a minute.
You've been in there quite a while.
So I mean that's a real goal of mine, is just protecting the game by kind of embracing this crazy mindset that Niantic has had. Like, Niantic is a very interesting company, but when you kind of learn what their goals are, it's very easy to say, like, are they doing this on the back of Pokemon Go players, or is it like they're empowering Pokemon Go players? I'm just trying to find ways to like empower people to realize like that this can be just part of the game. This is how you could choose to play the game. Like, just like Adam said, if he has the time, yeah, because that's what it comes down to, is like, would I rather be spending the next 10 minutes submitting a stop, or would I rather be spending the next 10 minutes shiny hunting?
Depends on the
And
person.
9 times out of 10, shiny
There
hunting.
you go.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's Delibird.
Oh my. Well, I know
feel
definitely
better about it with that. To be honest, I'm not too big on scanning stops, but that is a very, very good fighting point for it.
Yeah, and it's and we did an experiment before Bulbasaur Community Day where we powered up. It was like 5 or 6 stops that were like close and cluster. We powered them all the way up, gyms and stops. So it was like that area, if you were to play Community Day, would be a real hot spot, because you had, in addition to the lures, you had additional spawns coming from the powered up Pokestop. So like it was cool. Like it was like, all right, this is a different approach here, where it's like, was it exciting to scan the same sign that says "Welcome to Marine Park" 12,000 times? No, it was horrendous.
Right.
But the result was awesome. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know it's a little bit broken at the time, but when it comes to the level 3 power ups, focus up.
yeah,
But
stuff isn't showing up.
I also believe that as of right now, we haven't really gotten that big of a motivation to go. I mean, yeah, community days and other events have actually gotten us out and doing other things. But when it comes to, especially to community day, we really haven't gotten that one, like the Gibble one, where everybody wanted to be out, even during this time of the year. Everybody going to be out. So yeah, Bulbasaur and all of those ones, they're cool and all, but we gotta get that pseudo. We gotta get that Pokemon that everybody's gonna chip in, and everybody's gonna be like all over the place with the
I'm
steps.
sincerely excited about Hoppip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
they-
like that shiny.
Dude, if they did Community Day Classic with Larvitar,
Oh,
everyone would come out of the woodwork.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah, I
don't
think
even
it's
you
gonna
don't
happen.
even you don't even need another Gibble, like, because really the only other Gibble is Axew, and Axew's too rare to even go near that.
Oh,
like
God.
Larvitar was more common when it became the Community Day Pokemon than Axew is now. You know, but who else besides Axew would be like the OMG Community Day Pokemon at this, right? Who?
probably Gumi at this point. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Gumi,
tough.
yeah.
but
You know what?
it's gonna take a while before we actually see that
'Cause-
one. So
Yo,
'Cause it's gotta
Gumi
be,
would
like,
be
the
a good one.
best.
yeah, no.
But people need the Dragon Medal. Gumi would be a good one.
People are
That's
saying
actually a
that
good.
too, so.
That's actually a good transition.
And they could
into-
piggyback that with Dratini
Classic.
callback or classic.
I mean, there's Noibat, there's Axew, there's Gumi, there's Dino,
Ah,
which we still have a
Noibat.
community today. So it's
Oh,
it's-
dude, Dino. It would be if they did Dino Community Day.
yeah, definitely.
and that has been seen in many accounts being like, oh, hey, we're gonna sprinkle it in here, we're gonna sprinkle it in
Yep.
there.
I mean, we're
Here's
not gonna
another
talk that many
box.
situation when it comes to just rating Dino through full office and everything at this point. But it is what it is when it comes down to. So yeah, so
Now,
yeah.
speaking about community days and shinies, if you guys could go and change a shiny in the game for the better, which one would it be? Definitely Delibird, right?
Like the look of it.
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
gold,
Maybe just a color scheme. Maybe I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? What do
Oh
you guys think it would be?
man, that's tough.
I mean,
tough.
we definitely have some pretty bad shinies.
no
I think Gansha
shiny
would be-
Snorlax. I would change
Okay.
shiny Snorlax.
Okay, all right.
Because shiny Snorlax is so subtly like not different. Like, think if shiny Snorlax was like powder blue,
Okay.
like the like your lightning bolt, like one of the purified bolts behind you.
Yeah, there you
Like
go.
go from the left. Yeah, the one side is Snorlax now. The other side would be the shiny Snorlax. Like powder blue shiny Snorlax, that would be fire. Or what about purple Snorlax? If shiny Snorlax was like Kyogre purple.
That wouldn't be a bad idea
Interesting.
either. Yeah. I mean, Adam wants to probably have his favorite color on Delibird, but I think he already loves it all everything in between. Man.
A flesh colored Wailord would be pretty fun.
That will be horrendous.
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. It's like Diglett with
I
his
think it's
nose
in this
to
color
the-
right here. Like, you guys see that?
Yeah.
The layout? Oh my god! But yeah, no, it's just a fun question to ask every now and then.
Yeah, for me, Garchomp though.
Garchomp,
That thing
yeah.
needs to change.
Yeah, guys. Again, it's too subtle.
Yeah, definitely. So what are your biggest wins in the game? Like, what is it that you have that maybe somebody doesn't have, or maybe that you were able to obtain, or something like that? Like, what is it that you really, 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 really are proud of having in the game right now?
I like the completed special research tab. That's always a fun one to compare with people. Like in 2017, when they started doing global events like the Safari Zones.
Yeah.
Adam and I couldn't travel. We were hooked up with Niantic at that point, but they weren't like sending us places or giving us tickets or anything like that. So the early Safari Zones I don't have in my completed special research tab.
Yeah.
So I love meeting people that have that, so then they could pull it up in their special research. But I like the special research tab. I think that's a fun flex. So I'm pretty proud of that, because since late 2017 we've had every single event because we get hooked up from Niantic. So
Right.
it's like every time there's an event, we get a special research, we get to play it.
And
So that's really cool.
what about you, Adam? What is your biggest accomplishment there?
So probably my 100% shinies.
Okay. All right. How many do you have though?
How
I
many?
thought-
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought I only had one. I thought it was my hatched Nidoran female. Turns out I also have the Voltorb and a Smoochum with the bow. So it's the costume. So
Oh.
it can evolve,
Right.
but
yeah.
I've powered it as much as I can. all the way up.
Until you actually get a Smoochum or Jinx event where you can level up to 50 at that point.
Yes, yeah, because I think it's
Somewhere
I
in
need
there, yeah.
more. I need more Candy XL.
Yeah.
Super
Our,
strong smooch 'em.
Any
Yeah,
you
well,
got,
right now it's at 1308.
Any of you using the postcard book?
Not too much. I do think it's a really good addition, though.
I thought of a really cool flex when listening to Adam on Way Spotters. What if you made a postcard book of all the stops that you added to the game? So all your postcards are photos that you've taken. So then it's like your personal Pokemon Go photo album.
I like that. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. You probably already like have the Way Spotters trying to complete that, because that's probably going to be their goal from here on out.
Dude, I think Jamal said he's added, I don't know how many way spots to the game, but it's hundreds. I think you would need to. I think between him and Heracross Boss in the Carolina areas, they added 800 between the two of them. So
my gosh.
Yeah, no.
They're insane.
It's a crazy thing. Yeah, I listen to them too. So, Chris, do you have any good wins there and everything?
I don't know. I would have to say the best I've ever done in the game is like a PvP aspect, hitting elite in Sylph. I think that's something I'm very proud of, even though I haven't really done too much Sylph in a little while. But oh my gosh, that was definitely something I was very excited about.
Definitely. Just like what you said, we met through that, so we gone through at least through the first season, and we always wanted to play. I think it was the non-event ones that really got me out, and just doing GBL half the time anyway. So it's a close second, but I definitely want to go back because I love meeting everybody. We've met through a lot of different people out there to fight with, but it was fun. It's still fun, but it is what it is, especially how GBL is these days, anyways. For me, I want to say I do have one perfect that I believe not a lot of people have, and this is a clone Pikachu, and that's 100% that you can only get through the snapshot. So it was like the rarest thing, and then all of a sudden it just pops up, and I'm like, how did this get to be a Hundo? You know, so
it's wicked cool.
Yeah, that was your only chance at the clone Pikachu, right?
Right. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't where the shinies will actually be all over the place, but when it comes down to that was probably like a biggest win. I do have enough, and probably a little more to power up to level 50 plus another one, but yeah, I do like that at least this Pikachu will never leave my side no matter how much I look at it. So I will have other Pikachus too, Hondos or even Righteous at that point. But yeah, I will level that up whenever I get more status, even though I have like 8 million and everything. So
Nice.
Yeah, so but yeah, that is some of the things that went there. So Chris, you have the next question there for them?
So something I really like to ask anyone that, plays Pokemon Go and talks about Pokemon Go is, if you could pick one aspect of the game to permanently fix/improve, which aspect would it be? And, everyone really has their own answers. I've heard some crazy ones.
Adam?
Trading.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is another new one for me.
Yeah, I really wish they would expand the trading distance, at least for like events. Anytime there's an event, we should have extended trading just to promote like getting together with somebody, even if it's like hard for them, but like they still make the effort to get closer to you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then also in the aspect of like, we're best lucky friends. We've interacted with each other. We deserve to have like at least be able to trade. Just that one lucky, you know what I mean? That's just that one trade. It's already a special trade in general, but like taking that away, it just like, okay, I have to wait till I see this person and they live halfway across the country. I have to travel and spend all this money just to go see them. Like,
it's still Pokemon Go though. It's still Pokemon Go. So
it's tricky.
Yeah. What about you, Ken? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think that something that desperately needs an update is the gym system. I don't think that it needs fixing. I love the gym system for what it is, but it's one of the, it did get a major overhaul back in the day. When they went from the 10 stack, bubble.
Yeah.
So it has been iterated on since it was launched, but since then there hasn't been really much difference in the gym system. And I think that there was, in some communities, the hardcore of hardcore players typically are still on the gym grind, right? They're still worried about defending. They're still worried about having a significant amount of defenders active at any given time. And especially with, again, I'm going to tie it back to Wayfarer, with new stops and new gyms being added. Like if a new gym is added in my area, it's like a race to gold. Like people are trying to be the first to hit gold at the gym, and the turf war is strong. You know what I mean? So if that system had more to it, I think it would attract more people, because right now, even though whether you're going attacking a 10 CP Magikarp or a 3000 CP Blissey, you still have to battle it 3 times, and if you could outlast it, you win. You know what I mean? But that's probably the most inaccessible thing for new trainers, that their Pokemon are all only a couple hundred CP, and then they're going into these gyms and they're like, how can I possibly do anything to these, level 40, level 50 Pokemon that are defending here?
Right.
So I think that not only to give the new trainers something to latch onto, but the people that still care about the gyms, we just want something new to do.
Yeah.
Like how could it be more exciting? Like I don't know.
I was always trying to tie that in with the legendaries at one point. We have so many legendaries out there. We always we always raid through them, but I feel like they're just trophies. Like aside from maybe a couple of things in PvP and things like that, they're just trophies in our bag. We don't barely even use them aside from just regular things. So maybe add it to the gym somehow. I mean, I understand it could be as overpowered as anything, but if the system works, why not at least add one legendary through the whole thing? Because you can knock it down pretty easily if it's just 3 tries, just like any other Pokemon. I understand some of them are huge, or level 50 at this point, but why not use that? Like why not use our legendaries when it comes out to, especially because we just have them for nothing at this point. It's crazy sometimes,
Yeah, well, a lot of the mechanics in this game are like that, and it ends up becoming like, hey, this is the fun thing to do, to more of like, I got to punch my card on my trades today. I got to punch my card on my raid. I got to do my raid. Got to get my raid in. Got to do my dailies. And it's like, yeah, what do you do with it when it's like, here's your kibble. You know what I mean? Like someone just like you work all day and you get your pay.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't know. I just think that even if Team Rocket could take over gyms, and then it was a bigger deal, and it was a little bit more let me do a collaborative event against Team Rocket at a gym. Like, why make me raid a level 3 that I don't want to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if Team Rocket took over the gym and it was more like a Wizards Unite collaborative experience where you had to battle at the same time, like you're battling a raid boss, but you're battling NPCs or something with some narrative. I don't know, but yeah, gym system for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I did say my part when it comes to legendary squads, so I think that's something that they could change when it comes down to it. Just instead of just being trophies, they can actually be useful for something aside from either walking it or things like that. So it's kind of this an interesting part of it. So, but yeah, that's actually amazing that everybody has a good way of looking at it. Because we love this game too much, it's like we can talk hours and hours when it comes to this. So we want to make sure it's the best game out there, and we definitely have a good segment when it comes to Pokemon Go and TCG that we'll be talking about in just a moment here for sure. I know we've been ranting on for a little while. Actually, we've been ranting on for the good hour that we usually do this podcast. So let's get real quick. Now, this is usually the part where I'm gonna just ask a few more extra things, but we usually go and look through the weeks of our wins, basically. So our Hundos, our Shinies, what is it that you got that seems special to you? So unfortunately, I didn't get any Hundos again this week, which I think that it can all tie into a little game that's come out on the Switch that has taken over my life right now. So
Yes.
yeah. So I did get. Actually, no, I didn't. Did I not get a Shiny or did I get a Hundo? I don't remember at this point.
I can believe the no shiny and got a hundo because my gosh, he gets so many hundos.
I think the only hundo that I got was a hundo fletchling. Actually, I hashed it, so I was like, this is like the third hundo fletchling that I got. The other ones are level 50.
Now you have the line.
Yes, I know. I have the line. I got it. So that's the goal for me at least. So. But whenever I hatch the hundo that I already have, it's like, okay, did I finish the line? Yes. Did I not finish the line? We'll see how it goes. So,
do I transfer it?
Yeah, or put it in a home too, so that way at least has some sentimental value. So, but yeah, so I only got that one hundo. Chris, did you get anything notable this week?
Not this week. I think the same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
Legends Arceus hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be.
I mean, we can talk Arceus
still
all
playing
day too,
Pokemon
but anything for you guys? Do you got any wins here?
I got a Hundo Litleo.
Ooh, male or female?
Female.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
So that was a highlight, and that was like, completely rare. Like at the end of the day, I'm doing box cleanup, 4-star search, and it's like, ooh, like surprise, caught that earlier. I didn't know it when I caught it. I only knew like an hour later when I was.
I was showing this to Ken too because I mean this is the same thing that I do. This has only been working for me during community days though. Every other time because I'm at work I use the original Go Plus. So because I am in the sitting place, so I have to meet people in front of people and everything like that. So this is only for community, but yeah, it has gone through his pain too. I need another one eventually.
I just bought a battery for the original Go Plus. I
gotta
find mine.
Like a case of batteries in my room right here somewhere. So.
Dude, that thing is old faithful.
I know it works. It works every time. That never fails me.
Been through the laundry like 5 times.
Oh God.
Still works.
And
extra clean.
Adam, any wins? Any hundos?
Yes.
Chinese?
So I have my phone on my dash, and as I was driving, when I have the Pokeball Plus attached, sometimes it likes to just spawn random things.
Yes.
And so, I'm clicking Litleo after Litleo, and then all of a sudden I see a Paris, and I click it, and it's like the Paris shiny is very not that noticeable. Right?
Sure it is. That thing's red.
I mean, I guess, but like I clicked it and it was red, and I was like, oh, I need to slow down because I was on the highway. So I was like, I need to slow down and pull over. But I did catch it.
Hold on, Adam, cutting you off. Take away my answer for things that need to be fixed with gyms. The speed cap. That's it. Get it out of here. All right. Adam, continue.
So I stopped. I gave it a golden razz, and I was like, all right. I sat for probably like a minute or two. Like, it should be okay. And I gave it a nice curveball with an ultra ball, and I caught it. Stats are awful, but I have now what seems like the rarest shiny.
Okay.
That's how I lost my shiny Snorlax. I didn't come to a complete stop long enough. So
I don't think you ever redeemed it either. So I was like,
no, you can't. No,
I was so mad.
Mad. No, well, every now
maybe
and then
they'll do a Snorlax community day where they're all sleeping or something.
No, but Paris seems to be like one of the hottest and most rare right now.
Well, it is that one Pokemon. For Chris and I, probably hating Arceus, but it is the one Pokemon that hasn't really been in the spotlight for a while since after its shiny release too, and during basically a year since its shiny release. So it's out there.
It's awesome to shiny hunt too because it's boosted Stardust.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, so great wins, great catches. We are going through the festival lights. This is technically a recap, but we didn't actually cover it in the last podcast because, unfortunately, the news were not out there before we actually were live. So just a quick reminder for everybody how it goes. It's actually ending tomorrow, so we're just a quick event recap. So we have event bonuses. Increased chance of lucky Pokemon in trade, which I have not done because unfortunately I don't live with anybody that plays Pokemon Go these days. Actually, I do, but he never sent home anyways. Increased increased chance of becoming lucky friends, which I did get like probably a couple, 1 or 2. Have you guys have any lucky friends?
Yeah, I've gotten 1 or 2.
So just like
it didn't really seem too boosted for me, but
No, it's been I've been getting like the random like I'll get invited to a raid from a best friend or something like that.
Right.
And I'll just do like a raid, and then all of a sudden it's like lucky friends. Like,
There you
nice.
Double Stardust from opening gifts. So actually, I didn't fully read that for some reason because I wanted to read it for here, but I guess I should have been opening gifts all the time. And then 1 extra special trade per day. Anybody taking advantage of that or anything? Yep. All right, cool.
Not really.
Again, just now being able to know what Pokemons to trade and everything.
See, but if you had 40-kilometer trading, would you be trading
Yes,
more?
100%.
See what I mean? That's what bothers me of why we don't have this, because it's like problem solved.
Especially for this event. Why is it not for this event specifically? Where it
we said that on Lured Up. We're like, why wouldn't they pair it with extended distance? But yeah,
right, yeah. Some of the spawns we already talked about: Parrots, Meowth, Growlithe, Voltor, Hisu, and Voltor. We should know that it's a great addition, even though we cannot evolve it or shiny hunt it. Magikarp, Torchic, and Litleo. Luckiest ones are Electabuzz, Gyarados, and Combusken. I see more Combusken than Gyarados, and maybe a couple of extra Electabuzzes, but that's about it. We do have our 1-star raids. At this point, going over is basically the same thing. Shinx and Darumakas, probably, or even Esper, which is the brand new shiny that has been introduced this month anyways. Dradagon,
I feel like I've done like 15 raids. No shiny.
15, while everybody goes 250 or more. So.
Oh my lord.
Well, they were trying to figure out if Esper was boosted, the shiny rate, and it's like people are like, no, I think it's full odds, which doesn't. There seems to be more shinies on social media to disprove that it's full odds, but yet not enough to like confidently say it's boosted. It's
I mean, if you play like Fleetskin, getting like at least like 5 or 10 of them every other day. So.
that dude's inhuman.
Shiny making machine.
I know, right? 3-star race. We have some common red Pokemons because of the festival events. Shuckle, he being the number 1 for Chris, anyways. So he's the Chuckle man over here. So Dradagon is still has not shined for me for some reason, or even 100%, even though I've done plenty of them.
Same.
Regirock, which is exclusive move Earthquake, and Mega Houndoom for Mega raids. Any thoughts on Regirock, guys, or anything there, or?
I mean, it's good because you get Thunder, so I mean, you get Earthquake, so you have Metagross counters now. You know what I mean? Like, so I always think it's fun when legendaries have exclusive moves. I mean, I don't think elite TMs are necessarily that rare, but if you don't want to buy or you're not sitting on like a cachet of elite TMs, like raid it, do it now, because now it's always good for, typically the exclusive move is good for PvP, so it's good from that front. And also that makes for a great tradable Pokemon. So it's like if down the road someone wants one, you could save them an elite TM. It'll have more value in the market, because it has the exclusive move.
Yeah, no, definitely. 7K eggs, we have just a small shake-up when it comes down to it. Shuckle, Slugma, Darumaka, Scraggy, and Litleo. Again, open gifts, get eggs. Field research stacks, which unfortunately I have not done enough, but we do have a lot of Meowth, Galarian Meowth, Magikarp, Darumaka, Litleo, and Esper, and then a few research that give you Mega Energy for Gyarados. So it's actually pretty nice. And then we did have a time research when it comes to both Litleo and Esper, so at least you have a guarantee to catch one if you weren't going all you were out there to catch them anyway. So that is the Festival Lights. Again, this is ending in 24 hours as a recording of the podcast anyway. So that's how I love Niantic, because they always give me the news afterwards anyway. So we'll see how that one goes. But let's get into the research topics of this week, which actually we have one piece of news that we were very excited to talk about, because having both Ken and Adam here and talking about this is amazing, and it actually aligned for this podcast specifically. So Pokemon Go did announce that they are making a TCG Pokemon Go expansion. So I was surprised when I heard this. Now, it is not uncommon because we did have the Willow card back in the day, but now that we have this small little tease, what do you guys think? Like, I want to hear your thoughts and everything. First, Chris, of course, I want to see how excited he is about this for sure. So,
I got really into Pokemon cards again when Shining Fates came out. And when they announced the Willow card, I was like, I need to snag this thing. I'm a huge Pokemon Go fan. I need this card. And I don't know if they They said that they were working on it for a long time. I'm curious if they were trying to drop the Willow card around the same time, and it ended up getting delayed a lot. But oh my gosh, I know Pure Lighter wants to collect it. I really want to see what these cards look like.
Do you have one of the Willow cards?
I got two. They
Nice.
accidentally didn't send it in my when I got my shirt. And I messaged them about it because it looked like the FedEx people ripped open my package and took out the promo. Is what it looked like.
Yeah.
And they accidentally sent me two instead of the one.
Accidentally.
Sure.
Two separate boxes.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
Yo, the same thing happened to me, and I got a big box, like a shoebox style box. I opened it. It's filled with like air mailers. There's another box inside of it, and then in that box was one Willow card. I was like, this is excessive, but that card was.
And they did
Gem
the same
Mint
thing
10.
with my my special delivery Bidoof.
Ooh.
Yeah. Put it in a box.
Well,
I
no,
got
like
that boy.
they shipped me my order, and the box, like they had set it on my porch on the bottom, but what they did is they took a razor blade to the bottom and opened it and was able to reach in and grab the promo. And so I was like, I'm heartbroken. Like, that is the whole reason.
That's the reason I bought it.
Yeah, it's like I made a purchase specifically for that card, and it's not in there. And I was like, I didn't even like. I took a picture of it before I opened it, and then I emailed that. I mean, they sent me it in the long run, but like, that's so shady.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Well, when it came to CCG, especially the last few months, it's just been a craze. It's crazy, no matter how much you look at it. So, luckily I was actually able to get both Willow cards. I ordered like 2 shirts through the Gold Fest, so I was able to get mine. I have one that hasn't been used, and I was planning on keeping it away. I just never got around to it. But now that I know what the research is, I hope to actually do it in a time where people are going to get shiny Melton.
Shiny,
yeah. So I'm waiting for that to at least appear. I'll be like, here's a Willow card. You get a guarantee Melton, even if you don't go through the boxes, and all that. So, but exciting stuff when it comes to having Pokemon Go as part of the TCG. Now that we're all starting to, we have so many fans here, even in here itself. Like even I got through starting a master set of One Piece guys, and then I'm just like, give me all the cards, it's like, but I open packs here and there whenever I feel like it. I'll use it for tray bait to be able to complete the master set. But now that this has been announced, my mind is probably going to go through that too. So
I am so excited for this set though.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a little bit of teaser, a couple of things that seem Pokemon Go wise when it comes down to it, but nothing more that says they're just going to be coming in the summer. We don't know if it's going to be a full set. We don't know if it's just going to be a special set. We don't know if it's going to be integrated into a set that we already are going to be announced eventually. We don't know. We don't have all the full news when it comes down to it. However, it's just exciting to know that the game we love is still making waves, just like when Melton was released the first time. If you guys know, Melton, it's a Pokemon Go exclusive. It's playable through other games, but the birth of Melton was in Pokemon Go. So
yes.
Well, that's what's important about this from a franchise perspective is this type of thing, and Meltan was the first example of it, is Pokemon Go inserting itself into the canon of the Pokemon franchise, right?
Yeah.
So Meltan is canon. It was created in the world of Pokemon Go with Professor Willow. Therefore, Professor Willow, the Pokemon Go world, the regions that we're in through Pokemon Go and how we experience Pokemon Go is happening in the greater timeline of the Pokemon franchise.
Right.
So yeah, this is a big deal. Mm-hmm. This is a big deal. Like this is really cool to incorporate it beyond just like one promo card for the Willow. But Adam, my guess is that this is just going to be like the Detective Pikachu set. Where
that's what I was thinking.
It'll probably be something like 30 cards, and what is it, 6 cards per pack? I think
you're wrong.
Oh, it says 10. It says it's got 10.
There are 10.
Does it say 10?
It says 10
yeah.
in the little picture that they have there for it.
Which means
right at the bottom there.
This will be a set similar to something along the lines of like Generations, and then there's like a subset within that.
Yeah,
So
but we
can
didn't get
have-
packs for that unless it, like celebrations.
Right.
Like,
It
you
could
know
be
what I
like
mean?
like a summer holiday set kind of thing.
Yeah, but like think of even like Shining Fates. Shining Fates had subsets, but they weren't in separate cello. We didn't get separate packs.
Right. But like think of it as like it's a 2-part set. So it's Pokemon Go, okay? That is like the essence of it. So you're gonna have a lot of like I wish I could like build this set and like show you the set without actually like
Do you think it's going to have AR stuff?
Oh.
yes. And if not, like I talked about this on the Pokedads podcast.
But think about the Professor Willow card was illustrated. You know what I mean? So maybe they just illustrate everything.
Full art
Yeah.
Professor Willis
So
from here on
I
out.
mean, you can see from the pack art, you have like a Blissey on a Valor gym, which I thought was very fitting because that's literally what Ken does. He paints the town red and then
Blissey
sticks
all day,
Blissies in
yeah.
every gyms. And I can't.
I just
think
had
of
6 of them come back. I just looked at
Right.
my game. There was
Oh my
6
God.
Blissey there. So mad.
So how insane is that? And then there's going to be Mewtwo's obviously like a big deal because that was the first EX raid. So we're going to see a Mewtwo. That's going to be like the big card. We're going to see another Professor Willow, and I think it'll just be a standard Professor Willow. Look at he's got the Blissies. He's red.
Unfortunately, only 50 coins, like always, but you know. So.
But there's 10 cards in each pack,
Yes.
which is
Okay, that's an indicator,
in my
dude.
in my head.
No, I'm
that
with you.
indicates that we're going to have at least like a 70-ish card pool.
Subset, yeah. That
Yeah.
seems like a.
Now
Okay.
they can already reprint Ultra Ball.
Yep.
Think of all the items in Pokemon Go. Rare Candy is already in the TCG, so they just have to slap on the weird rainbow ball that is in Pokemon Go as the rare candy, and then we've got a new rare candy. Throw Pokeball in there. We've got a new coin flip Pokeball. Throw Great Ball. Throw Ultra Ball. Throw Premier Ball.
Dude,
in there.
if the entire set is all art and it's the same text as a reprint on a card, that would be awesome.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes.
saying. So it'll blend both worlds together. If you play Pokemon Go, you can use your Pokemon Go items to play the card game. So I think at face value, we're going to have, like I said, like 60, 70 cards. I think a good portion of those can easily be trainers.
I was
And
going
you
to
can
say,
have
yeah.
you can have a charge TM or a fast TM, and those can be 2 different like generic attacks that you can, as a tool card, can attach to your Pokemon. Like there's so many ways that they can put this set without even thinking about Pokemon, but put all these items and trainers into the card game.
I mean, I definitely feel like maybe something like like I was saying, the full art, like Professor Willow card or something like that. But they also
Yeah.
introducing like the team leaders of Pokemon Go,
Yep.
like having them
Yeah.
in face in
Yeah,
like in
and those
kind
can
of
be
cards.
supporter cards, and then with a like a gym, you could do a gym stadium or a Pokestop stadium. There's like there's so much stuff they could do, and like with
There's so many
Stardust,
possibilities. And
Yeah.
also, one thing that I just keep thinking about is the AR stuff. It's possible that they take the real trainers AR photos
That
or anything
is
like
the-
that,
that is
and
the-
put it
the
into the real
biggest
world
kicker.
cards.
I'll
That
be
is the
let down
biggest
if
kicker.
I'll be let down if they don't.
Right.
So
Two
if
things.
they don't do that, like the excitement level goes from a 10 to a 9, because what would take it over the top is if they included actual people, like trainers
Actual
playing
people,
this
yeah.
game that actually took these pictures. Because there's so much great work in the Pokemon Go AR sphere. Like,
Yeah, but
so
dude,
many talented creators.
if I was the most talented AR photographer there is, though, I don't want to give away my artwork for free to be used
Oh,
in a
that's
card
definitely
that
going to be part
Oh,
of
dude,
like, kind of commotion.
it'd be
but
all over
then
the
you
place,
then
though.
you would be
Yeah.
it'd
immortally
be like a contest. Like I hate when they do that. Like we're doing an art contest. It's like, yeah, how can we hire an artist for free?
Right? Yeah.
But
it's
still-
it's crazy part. Yeah.
if they did that and they got those talented art like photographers, that set is like in the bag. Like I'd want to keep it sealed. I'd want every product for it, like because it'd be like my friends, people I know.
Guys,
See, but-
I know how to make this set a completely going over bananas for everybody to buy. Just put Charizard on it.
Oh, they will.
Oh.
They will. They will.
No, you could do like all the Team Rocket stuff and like have the likeness of even like the Jesse and James cards, but using the likeness of their Go aesthetic.
Yeah, Team
you know what
Go
I mean?
Rocket.
Yep. They
I
could
need to
have
see those.
Yep, you could do
Boss's
like
Orders.
Boss's Orders with Giovanni. Yep. So there's a ton of opportunity here. But yeah, I would love to see, like, we have Professor's Research. That's been a staple in the TCG. But yeah, now give us a full art version and a alt art version of
Or
these
they
trainer
could do
cards.
trainer arts with like Cliff and
Yeah.
Cliff,
Teddy Ursa.
Cliff and Sierra and Arlo are also
what I mean?
Pokemon
Yeah.
Go amazing
There's
characters
so
that we
much
just
they
seen.
can do with this
There's so
set,
much,
and
yeah.
I feel like they're gonna drop the ball.
So
Adam!
So here's
I'm
something.
so excited. I am literally on like a 9 teetering to 9.5 scale. But like
I'm definitely
I
getting
feel
there.
like I'm just gonna get let down. But
Oh,
my
God.
hype level is very much there.
Yeah.
All right, but now how do they sell this product? This is the thing you got to think about. Like, I don't necessarily know if this is going to be like in blister packs on key hooks, at Target. Like, they may make this. I don't know how they're going to sell this stuff. Like,
Hey,
are they going to sell ETBs of the Pokemon Go set? Like, are they going to, or is it going to be like
They
a promo
can.
box?
it's so hard to do those kind of things when there's so many fake cards going around, especially for Pokemon Go. So,
Yeah.
No, there's no such thing as fake cards. Everything is real.
Right.
Yeah,
So
if it's
there's
made
two
out of
things-
paper, it's real.
There's two things I'd like to see in the set, and I know it's something a lot of people want to see is shiny Pokemon. I think it's very likely. You know how we have code cards to redeem for the online TCG? I want to see code cards where you can redeem stuff in the game, in the packs. That's something
Yeah,
I think would definitely
That's
sell
cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Couple
a good
Pokeballs.
connection. Yeah, well,
it. Yeah, anything really.
It
What
just,
if you get a Pokemon? They send you a Pokemon and it could be like a common or it could be a shiny.
Oh God, everybody will be buying
See,
cards.
that would be
for
cool
that.
if they put a code in there and like
Well,
all the codes
well,
were different.
Think about like distributions at stores. Like I was just talking about the original Pokemon Mew distribution, right? But like for the TCG or even the main series games, you would have to go into a GameStop and get a code or scan a QR code or unlock something with a code, mystery gift, whatever, however you want to do it. But yeah, what if they turn those distributions that we've seen with the card game and the VG to Pokemon Go, where you go to GameStop and the card that they give you or the redemption code is a Go redemption code, and then it redeems something.
And
in
it
the game.
redeems a mystery encounter, but it's like a
Right?
shiny guarantee.
Well,
10
this
years.
also will be special for Ken because every time he redeems something, it will be on his like special research part. So he's like,
Yeah, right.
I need all
Yeah.
of that going through. So, so we can all agree, Pokemon Go is like the multiverse of the game right now, right? It's like just
Yeah.
open it up through every single like main series game, TCG, and everything. So we're the multiverse. We're actually the real world, and we're just expanding to everything right now. So
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, so. But yeah, no, great pointers, great things. We'll definitely want to hear more when it comes to the TCG and Pokemon Go combination. So we'll hope to, just like Adam says, hope to not be let down. Let's hope that we get like some cool cards and everything. But we'll definitely something that a lot of Pokemon Go players are going to enjoy and maybe put them into the TCG. You never know. So. But that's actually all the piece of news that we have. There's a couple of things here and there. Unfortunately, we also kind of been ranting on for a while anyways. But quickly, just through some PvP aspects, this is our section, Get Good, Get Wreck. Chris, here we go.
All right.
So, yeah. So, today it was Go Battle Day. And I honestly can say that I completely forgot about it. So,
I did one set. Let's go.
Anybody here aside from, us maybe doing
I did one battle today.
Oh. Is it your daily battle of the day or daily battle of your set or something?
Oh, just one battle
Okay,
of
cool.
the set of 5.
So I have a real hard time with Ultra League. It's my worst one. I don't enjoy it nearly as much as I do Great League or Master League. But I'll give it to. I was out grinding. I did a foot grind today. I was out grinding for a while, and I got the in-game notification like, "Hey, it's Go Battle Day," and I was like, "Oh snap, it's Go Battle Day!" Like the notification worked perfectly. Like it notified me properly. But
Yeah.
I typically do not invest time into Ultra League because I cannot get good. I can only get wrecked. And it never works out for me. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna try to get shiny Paris.
Every now and then I do good in the Ultra League. I can't say I'm an expert, but I do have some pointers whenever I go through Ultra League and just work with a team that just works well for me, especially since I've been running through Get all those Pokemons before. So it's not a bad thing. I do love mostly the Master League. Even though Great League is the great gateway for everything, but the Master League, just because you get those hundreds and everything, I'm just like, I need them.
Master League Classic is my jam.
I go regular Master, and that's level 50 now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so Go Battle Day, another great way to actually get some Stardust and everything, guys. So it should be ending in the next couple hours. So if you guys haven't done it at this point, by the time you listen to this podcast feed, it's done anyway. So. It is how it is, however. But I also want to give it to Chris now that we have give us some faction updates since he is in a team with Switch Masters, actually.
Yeah, all right. We got matched up against Swell Sprouts, and I know it's got a lot of people from Jiggly Dad's podcast that were in there. I was able to go 1-2. I really should have gone 2-1 or 3-0 just based on the teams, but I definitely misplayed, and my opponent played everything so yeah, huge GGs to them. But we ended up losing in a very close 11-10. So that one extra point definitely would have mattered.
Oh yeah.
Next week we're definitely going to be prepared, but huge GGs to the Swell Sprouts. This was our second time battling them, and I think we had a much better showing this time, so I'm very happy about that.
We should probably get all the podcasts here and then just be like, here's our team here, let's pick them out. It's like, I know Ken has done things like that before, but I definitely, if it gets me back into something when it comes to the Celta Arena or anything like that point, I will go for it. So. I do know some of the people in the Switch Masters, or even the through the Professor Network. So maybe someday I'll get to that point, unless Ken wants to start working on a Professor Network fractions update or something. It's like then we'll go ham on that. But yeah, that's basically it that we have on the news and everything. So. If we have covered everything for this week, I do want to say thank you so much for both Ken and Adam for joining us today. Again, this was a very, very special episode. 100 episodes, it can only go up from here. We're going to keep on going as long as this game is alive and well. So I also want to thank the listeners, anybody who has come through a live stream today, anybody who's listening to the podcast services and has always listened through us. Thank you so much. Again, as long as one of you guys are listening, we will continue doing this as long as we can. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And Chris, if you have anything else to cover or anything, I usually just end it there like that before then.
No, we covered everything very well.
Cool.
I think.
Adam and Ken, you guys want to shout out some plugs or anything? Go ahead.
Sure. You could just check out PokemonProfessor.com. It has links to all the shows. You can find, the archive of every episode we've ever done is available on the website. You could also link out to our YouTube where you can get every episode. Now we're in video, but you could also, we have a cool page that I always like to send people to on the website. Just click on podcast and then click on guest list, and you can see all the different people that we've had on the show. So you could probably find one of your favorite content creators out there that we've had on the show. So that's always a fun place to start if you're new. But other than that, yeah, we're look at Adam and his deli birds. Dude,
that's all I have left to say.
Adam's car, right? The back window of the car. It's like, you ever see those like crazy people that have like all this hoarding stuff in the back of the window of their car, right? Like, and it's just piled up.
It's all
Adam is like, it's all Delibird plushes.
No,
now I know how to get to Adam now because I know how the car looks like now.
Exactly. It's like I don't know how he sees out his back window. Like it's
it's through these little little ear things. Because I'm seeing it like this,
No, but no, check out PokemonProfessor.com. Everything you need to see is there. So, yep, that would be the spot.
Thank you. All right. With that being said, thank you so much for everybody once again for listening. And you can always check us out in our podcast services fees. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, those places are always great. That we have many other places if you guys listening through that. Our social media is myself at PureLetterGo, Chris at PKMN. Trigger, please. I know how to say that right now. You can always email us info or any other stuff through the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network, just like Ken has mentioned. So, but again, guys, thank you so much. This was a great time. I can't stop. I mean, we can talk forever if we want
thanks
to.
for having us on. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Thank you.
and congratulations on 100 episodes. You should be
Woo!
very, very proud.
Cheers! If anybody has any water
It's
left,
a big deal.
Cheers for everybody. So,
Dude, I'm so much smarter now. I've drank this entire smart water.
I got like
And
my
I'm just
Pokemon trainer
hydrated.
bottle here. So.
Yeah. Nice.
So again, guys, thank you so much. And I guess Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. Thank you everyone for the support, and I want to give a special thank you to the Lured Up podcast. For all the help that we've gotten from you guys. Having a spot on your website has definitely been very, very pleasant. And yeah, I hope we can keep making content the same way you guys are. And thank you to all the listeners. 100 episodes strong. Hopefully, we'll keep trucking, every single week. And see you guys next time. Keep grinding. Peace.
Keep purified, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.